Hey everyone, it's Agent Ann, and today I'm going to talk about the reasons why I left my last brokerage, Keller Williams, to move over to eXp Realty. And I've been kind of not wanting to talk about it too much when I moved over. I didn't want to offend anybody. I didn't want to make Keller Williams look bad because I have some mad respect for that company. There was a lot of people still left at the old brokerage that I really adore. And so I didn't really want to share a lot about, looking like one is superior over the other. And if you like your brokerage that you're at, you can probably relate because, there's a lot of things that were truly wonderful about my last brokerage. And I was with them for a very long time, about 11 years approximately. And I really contribute a lot of where I'm at today to them. So I didn't want to come across as saying things that would put them in a negative light. And truthfully, after evaluating everything with eXp, I just looked at it truthfully as a huge opportunity for myself and my team members and potentially other agents that would come on board. So I just wanted to state that because this is not a Keller Williams bashing video at all. This is simply just sharing how my thought process went in terms of evaluating eXp. And I know that a lot of brokers, we get really loyal to our brokerages. We get loyal to the people at the brokerages. And so for me, it just really came down to looking ahead at my future and my family's future and saying, I'm going to make a decision based on what is good for my family first. I'm going to be loyal to them first. And I'm going to look through this through the lens and the eyes of just that. So I don't know if that helps you at all, if you're looking at changing brokerages or the reasons why. I didn't leave because somebody upset me. I didn't leave because, some blow up or anything like that. It was simply just a matter of just watching this company called eXp and hearing things and learning things and diving deeper into it and really understanding that this brokerage really has an incredible opportunity like no other opportunity out there when you're a real estate agent. So let's just get right to some of the top reasons why I chose to go to eXp. So the first thing I noticed about this company, and maybe you're noticing too, is that it is just growing at such a rapid level. Like I couldn't help but notice there was a lot of brokers and teams and expansion teams across the country that I kind of watch, through social media or just kind of happen to know people through people. And they were leaving to go to eXp. And I was like, this company's so small. Like, why is everyone going over there? Like, what's the big deal? I really didn't focus in on the model at all. I just thought, okay, they might offer some stock and, it's kind of a buzzworthy company, but I really didn't understand the full potential of this model. But I was paying attention. I was tuned in. And I think that's kind of sometimes how it starts is you kind of see things happening online or in social media realm where you're like, what's all the fuss about? Like, why this little company eXp that's just growing, So the first thing I saw was just this massive growth, like the fastest growing real estate company ever to exist. I was like, what's going on? So it was about maybe a year ago when I started to slow down and I actually listened to some podcast. I fell across some podcast about it. I think I was kind of searching for eXp podcast or I don't know what I was doing, but I came across this podcast and I started listening to it and I thought, what the heck? Is this real? Is this too good to be true? So two things you start hearing about when you start investigating eXp is number one, this is too good to be true, can't be real. And number two is this is the biggest no-brainer. So a lot of times people sit on the sidelines and go, I don't believe it. I don't believe it's true. I had a friend who moved over to eXp who for a long time, he just was like, that all sounds great, but I just don't believe it. It's too good to be true. But then you see people that will look at it and they'll go, oh my God, this is the biggest no-brainer ever. And they move like very quickly. So, most brokerages take months and months and months to bring a brand new agent into their market center. Typically, it takes a long time to have a broker make the command decision that they're going to move from one brokerage to the other. It is not a simple thing. You're asking an agent to move their entire lifestyle. But what's really interesting is that eXp actually gets agents to move quick. I mean, you'll hear story after story of agents who they see the model, they get it, the light bulb goes off, and then they instantly move. So that is not uncommon. Other times it takes a long time. Some people are not in a rush. They want to know what they're getting into. They're doing excessive amounts of research. And I always tell everyone, do your research. Don't just jump over. Know what you're getting into, fully understand it. And that's what I did as I took the time to do it. There's a friend of mine that also took the time to investigate the model with me. And at any rate, we kind of realized like at a place that we're at in our businesses. So I have a small team. We sell on average around 100 homes a year. we don't have any desire to expand to other market centers. We kind of researched that at one point, and we just kind of realized that is just not for us. And we didn't want to kill ourselves selling more and more and more houses and hiring more and more people. Like, hiring a bigger team was not all it's cracked up to be. Hiring one agent does not equate to 1 or 2 more sales a month. And I understood that. And I liked my team kind of being small and lean. So one of the things I recognized was that there's opportunity, not just for me, but for my team members. I was able to say, hey, you guys can buy stock at a discount. So we started looking at the stock, because the stock is the most practical way to say that is a retirement option for agents. You can buy it at a 20% discount with your commission checks. That's huge. My buyer's agent, she has turned on the 20% discount with every commission check, and she is quickly adding up stocks. And so for her, it's a retirement program. It's a no nonsense, just turn it on and set it free and let it happen. You also get stocks for capping. There's another realm to this called icon status that I did recognize that I would qualify for. So if you pay off your $16,000 cap and then you sell another 20 homes approximately, you can qualify for icon, assuming you meet the production goal of that, as well as the cultural goal, which is going to events and supporting lunch and learns and doing all these things that they're going to vet you on. But they give you that $16,000 of cap back in stock. And right away that clicked for me, because I paid my last brokerage at least in the upwards of $20,000 to $30,000 a year in cap. And so what I recognized was that I can either pay a cap to my previous brokerage and it goes nowhere, does nothing other than to the brokerage. I don't get it back. I don't get any accolades for that. Or I can move to eXp and see that cap come back to me in the first year and the second year. And what occurred to me was, how much have I paid my broker in the last 5 to 10 years I've been in business? I mean, if you really add it up, it's almost like, oh my gosh, that's like buying a house for cash. And it quickly dawned on me, like, I can either support the brokerage I'm at now, nothing wrong with that, or I can move over to eXp and take that same cap, and it becomes an investment for me. They award the cap back to me. They hold it for 3 years, and then I can use that for whatever I want. I can keep it in the stock, or I can cash it out. They also give you $4,000 every year of that stock back towards the events. You can cash it out. You can keep it in the stocks, whatever you want to do with it. So right away, it occurred to me that I see myself retiring in the next probably 15 years, ideally. That's my plan anyway. So I got thinking, if I'm at eXp for, say, the next 10 to 15 years, what does that look like if I'm able to take my cap and it's an investment? Also, if I buy stock, that's an investment. Or they just give you awarded stock for capping, for bringing agents into the company, all the different ways you can get stock. I thought that alone is a huge incentive, because I'm a big believer in having various ways that you invest your money so that it grows and grows and grows. My husband and I do that. We call it money buckets. We fill everything out. We maximize 401s and SEPs and all these things. And over time, it has really acquired some good, a good wealth strategy. So I looked at eXp as just another wealth strategy. It was just another way for me to go about my business, sell homes. And in the meantime, I'm collecting stocks for just doing what I already do. And so is my team members. They have the same, opportunity to go out there and buy stocks at a discount and collect and award them. So that was a huge one for us. The other way was that in my last brokerage, we were in the office all the time. I've shared that in other videos. We're office people. We currently have our own office rent. We were paying rent at our last brokerage. And I realized that a lot of people were just not coming into the office, and that we as a team were operating very virtually. Like, a lot of the CRMs and the tools and the things that we use, they're not provided by our brokerage. They're provided by us going out and stroking a check and saying, okay, team, here's your CRM, and here's your leads, and here's your this, and here's your that. So we were already operating on a virtual level. And I saw that in my own personal life, just with the way that I shop. I probably buy everything on Amazon, even most of my clothes. I don't go to the grocery store. I use Instacart. We have a lot of things delivered to the house because we just don't have a lot of time in our world to just go out there and shop and dilly-dally. So I recognized a lot of brokers were doing the same. They're working from home, coffee shops. They're going to and from out in the field with their clients. So this was not a concept that was completely foreign. Like, we really do have a virtual model already. It's just a matter of to what extent. The other thing I thought about was the collaboration. In my market center at the last brokerage I had, there was just those agents. And so if we taught classes, which I did, I would be teaching to the agents at that market center, and they would be doing the same. So there's only so much you can get out of that market center. Those agents only have so much to pour into you and you into them. But at eXp, there was this whole other platform that exposed us to the number of agents that eXp has. So the trainings, there's 5 days a week of training by all different people, people doing more business than me, less business, different ways of doing business. I thought, wow, that's huge. Like, I can just tune in my pajamas or at the office or go back to recordings and listen to these trainings. Whereas at my office, I was very, very limited to it. It really was just a small hub to be a part of. The other thing I thought of was the opportunity with, obviously, rev share. I believe that agents deserve to have the very best. We're all out there working really, really hard. There's not a lot of models out there that offer things like, stock options, or not stock options. You have to be careful with that word. It's not stock options. It's stock awards. They award you things for what you do. They offer you a retirement program. Recently, I was at the shareholder event, and they are now looking into a group policy for health insurance, which I think is absolutely awesome. I hope they can come to the table with something amazing. If they figure that out, that'll be a game changer. I think that'll be worth more than some stock to people, because I know agents who support their entire families on their real estate commissions, and they pay like a mortgage payment just to cover their families with basic insurance, nothing sexy, nothing crazy, or no eye or dental or whatever. So I'm really, really interested to see. But overall, I just looked at eXp and I thought, there's this company that has started to figure out what the agents need to be successful, what they need for the long term. I heard it coined really well by somebody that said, this is the first real estate company that thinks about the real estate agent's financial future. So when you think about the ways that you can make money, obviously selling houses is first and foremost, but the ways to develop stock for your retirement plan, and also the revenue share power, the power of that revenue share is beyond what you could possibly imagine. You start to really realize that this company is thinking about the agent first. And when agents are happy, healthy, and successful, guess what happens to their businesses? Those two are happy, healthy, and successful. So I just looked at this as a very holistic way of, I can stay at my current brokerage and be fine, sell homes, do what I'm doing, just stay the course, or I can do that same thing over here at eXp, and all of a sudden now I have other possibilities for myself and my team to acquire retirement and other streams of revenue. And they also just support your business on a way that just makes sense for a lot of us. We're out there, we're busy, we don't have time to go at 1 o'clock to a office meeting, so I can be in the cloud, I can be on my phone, my iPad, my computer. The whole thing just made perfect sense to me as I dove into it, and I got more and more excited about this whole potential. So if you have questions, or you want to walk through any kind of, bounce ideas off, does this make sense for you or not? And I recognize too that this doesn't make sense for everybody. This brokerage is not for everybody, but it is for a lot of agents. Feel free to hit me up. My cell phone will be listed below, my email. Be happy to talk to you, and I hope this helped.